Wait, what are you talking about? Blackface Nikki? What are you guys talking about here?
Like Jenna Marbles, she came out in an apology
Jenna
for,
Marbles.
but she's one of the original YouTubers, like original YouTubers back in the day.
But she was in blackface for some reason?
Oh, she
Oh,
was.
this is the chick. She was just like super tan that day, right?
Yeah.
Like she just over tanned or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
you
she
get
was
free
working at a
tans.
fucking tan salon. She got free tans in LA. So lo and behold, uh she was getting tanned regularly, and then she made fun of Nicki Minaj. And she herself, a few days
Wait,
ago,
what'd
she
she
was
do
like,
to me? How'd she make fun of Nicki Minaj?
She just did a parody of her.
she just
How?
put on a wig. She put on a purple wig.
Oh, she just dressed stupid. Okay.
Yeah.
With her
Oh,
dark tan.
come on. You don't think that tan was intentional? Jesus.
No, she was
Trash and
tan
sink is
for
over there.
fucking
You can wash it down or outside. Yeah, that's fine.
you. She was working at a tan salon. She got free tan, so she'd get them whenever she could.
Okay. I didn't realize she worked at a tan salon.
Yeah, and then a few days ago, she comes out saying, "Fucking, I'm quitting YouTube because I don't want to offend anyone from
Well,
here
they
on
were
out."
Because of that, one commentator was saying like she's probably doing that to avoid the shitstorm that's about to come. Because if you really think about it, they're doxing and attacking and politicizing everything.
She was getting ahead of it.
Yeah, like some say she was bending the knee, whatever. But the way I say it, she's getting ahead of the curve, calling it quits, and just dipping out with what she got. Like, well, fuck it, cut your losses, ditch the kids, type shit.
So what do you think? You think we're gonna see more of this? More people just dropping out? Like you see a lot of the police force starting to drop out just because they're scared of the repercussions of what society is viewing them as?
Well, yes, because if you think about it, Facebook actually put out more terms and services to
Oh,
go
you know
ahead.
what? We need to get closer together. I forgot when we
can
get
hear
this
you.
on. No, for the camera.
Okay,
'Cause
yeah,
that-
no.
The camera when we finally post this up, we're just gonna be all shoulders.
Oh, I
It's gonna
get
be
you.
just the arms. We gotta try and stay tight.
No,
Tight
well,
like a tiger.
Facebook had new terms and services to go ahead and try and combat hate speech and racism. So they already put more censorship on the platform, and this is also leading to bigger, like multi-billion-dollar corporations or parent companies, as well, to go ahead and like not want to do advertising because guess what? Everything's controversial now. Perfect example with Gillette. They put one for that real that one where all men are sexually assaulting women or something like.
The best man could get.
Yeah, that whole controversy. Then a month later, they produced another commercial with an military guy, all white, blue eyes, just like went the completely opposite direction.
Well, you gotta put out ads for everybody.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Depends on your demographic and the geographical demographic.
That is the thing. But the first one, they just insulted all men, calling them basically rapists. And the second one,
Well,
they
that's why a lot of
insult-
people boycotted them, right?
Yeah,
So
and
of course they're gonna flip their script. You got to.
And then when they did, they messed up even more because the people they were pandering to, like, what the hell is this?
So they lost both sides. Now
Yeah.
nobody. Now they give no respect from anybody. Now everybody's getting Harry's, razors, or Dollar Shave Club.
Yeah, I go to HEB and just get the dollar shaves, bro.
I do Dollar Shave Club. No, switch to Dollar Shave Club.
Really?
Yeah, for real. Because it's like $9 for super quality razors.
I think there was
No, not a sponsor, by the way.
there was some people saying that Dollar Shave Club donates to Black Lives Matter, and Black Lives Matter funnels their money to another type of what was it, organization that funnels that money to Democrat Party leaders. So like,
I mean,
there's-
that's the way it's supposed to be, though. That's the
Well,
way
but here's the thing,
that's the way this shit works.
Yes, it is, but when you have a whole thing saying Black Lives Matter, we're doing this for the black community, but instead of giving that money to the community, because they've raised billions of dollars.
Well, the idea is that they're putting money towards people who are going to facilitate bettering
I
their
get
position.
that,
Like
but-
it's a roundabout way of doing it. It's a bullshit claim that it's going towards Black Lives Matter when
Yes.
it's not. But in
You
the
are
end,
correct.
but in the end, what the fuck is what did we expect when they signed a bill saying that propaganda is legal now?
You're right. That was Obama, right?
That was Obama administration.
Yeah, Obama put the kids in cages. Obama did that. He was a deporter. And
Now Obama he was just in power when it was happening, just like the last five
Yeah,
fucking
but
presidents.
Why would he sign the order to allow propaganda? Ever since, if you think about it, that was like 2009, 2010, right?
I think honestly, because I think they want us to. I think if you're gonna go super conspiracy theory with the presidency and the coronavirus, if they knew that they were going to release something, an alien illness to
Foreign,
us,
yeah.
something that affects worldwide, a common threat against humanity, like Reagan and every president and JFK and who else has said that if there was an outside threat to us all, imagine how quickly we would unite. Like, well, what if they planned this whole virus to be released to try and bring us all together in solidarity? The problem is it started back when Bush and Obama were going on, and then it rolled in. Then nobody expected Trump to come in and use it to further separate us rather than to unify us.
Well, that is a one way to look at it.
It's just a conspiracy. I don't even fucking believe it. I'm just saying
Where'd you
if
read
we're
that one? Like, it's just a general conspiracy you found on the internet, or
no, it's
like,
just me coming up with my own
okay.
shit. Like it's the way the ball rolls in my head, you know.
The way I see
It makes sense to me that if they were going to allow propaganda
Mhm.
and try and make it legal for the government to say this is a naturally occurring virus rather than a man-made virus in a lab, if they want to say, oh my God, this virus is so bad, we need everybody to stay indoors for the next year. Like, what's it going to do? It's going to start mail-in ballots. It's going to start, if you want to go further conspiracy theory and think that the richest of the rich and let's go biblical with it. The beast the devil's gonna come, or the antichrist is gonna come. We're supposed to love it, right? According to the Bible, we're not even gonna know who the antichrist is till it's too late. Well, who's the most popular person in America that looks like he's doing everything he can for the betterment of humanity? Elon Musk. What's Elon Musk doing? He's making Neuralink. What's Neuralink gonna do but have us all tie in together electronically? He even claimed on Rogan we're no longer going to have to communicate with each other. We could just think our thoughts to each other. Okay, so now we've got a government sanctioned propaganda machine now in the United States, which we bitched about after World War II and the Cold War and all that shit. But fuck that, right? Let's go back to that. Then we get a coronavirus that because of that propaganda, whether you believe it or not, we claim it's propaganda, then we're all separated and put into our houses and forced to deal with just the electronics around us for entertainment rather than human-to-human contact.
Now disconnecting us.
He wants it in 5 years, so this could easily continue into 5 years if they roll it together with several different strains of this coronavirus popping up back and forth. We'll see what happens, right?
Yeah.
So then you got Neuralink coming up in 5 years. Now all of a sudden everybody's vegetables in their fucking houses all plugged into these fucking Neuralinks, not leaving the house, not doing anything. Everything's getting delivered to their house through DoorDash and Instacart. And then
drones dropping it off.
Yeah. Then what happens?
End times, because now
then it becomes the Matrix. We're all just plugged in battery fucking feeding information. With the way you make a supercomputer, these fucking quantum computers. Well, why don't we just plug in millions of people's brains and use their fucking computation, their computational powers all together and the world's intelligence and make one super quantum computer. Is that how we're going to elevate?
Yep.
What do you think, Frank? Is there any veracity to what I got here?
What I'm getting out of this is, of course, typical me. So you're saying we'll just think fucking our fucking communication to each other. So what if you have the Neuralink and all that happy horse shit, and you start fantasizing about your crush? Is she gonna receive all that fucking nastiness that you're thinking about?
Good question, isn't it? I imagine there's gonna have to be some sort of handheld device for directional communication. Otherwise, you're just putting out your signals so anybody could hear you.
Like in South Park, the shitter. Where it's
and then
come out the head.
Yeah. Well, and then you're talking about 1835 again, or 18. What is it? 1984.
George Orwell.
Yeah. So then you're talking about thought police. It'll be literal thought police.
No.
You'll have cops with the ability, or some sort of security with the ability to hack into us to make sure that we're not thinking of committing a crime now.
If you think of it like,
that guy looks suspicious. Let's check into his brain thoughts real quick.
Or like, hey, that guy's having suspicious thoughts. That guy's thinking like, oh, like why that guy's questioning a lot.
Yeah, then it becomes Minority Report. Oh, it's fucking all it is a reality imitating art.
Yeah, and
then on the other side of that, you have people that think this way. They think fucking, oh, with this next paycheck, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that. And since you just all you have to do is just think, they'll be fucking buying shit online without even intending to. You know, they'll
Okay,
just keep
Frank.
finding
Now,
out.
now you're just assuming that nobody's gonna work on like the technical aspects. Like it's not gonna stop at like we think it and it goes out. There's obviously gonna have to be some sort of uh, like I said, directionality towards how it works. Although, because nobody's gonna sign up for that. Like, can you name one person like, yeah, I just want everybody to know what I'm thinking all the time with no filter.
No, because you'll sign up thinking, "Oh, cool! I don't have to fucking text anymore. I can just think it," and
Well,
they won't
yeah.
think it through. You know, with the whole
That's
fucking so
not gonna
fucking
happen.
what happened? Oh shit! I just sexted with this person, fucking without intending to, and now I'm gonna get thrown in jail
Yeah,
because
making
it's
noise.
illegal to send dick pics in Texas.
Dick pics in Texas.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be. Even Elon Musk is like, yeah, I'll probably wait a few years. It's his fucking tech. It's his business, and he's like, yeah, it'll be ready in 5 years, but I probably won't get it for the first few. Got to make sure all the kinks are out. So who's he gonna fucking test the shit on? What are we gonna get
Hipsters.
some fucking monkeys in the fucking building and
Yeah.
get PETA all up on your ass? And
Well, the way I see it, everything that coronavirus was orchestrated and lied and manufactured to the point where doctors across the nation came out on local news stations saying, yeah, the CDC was telling us to go ahead and write everything as a Rona. Let's say they get in a car accident and the guy was drunk, but he had Rona. We say he died of Rona. So that's why you get an influx of
influx.
fucking, influx of corona patients across the nation. But guess what? A majority of these
Well,
corona
of the deaths, right? But
Well,
even then, like they're
yeah,
saying that the Rona cases are going up because we're testing more. Of course,
Yeah.
that's how that works. But what they're not saying is that it was a great post from our friend Vegan Patriots that the number of death cases, the percentage of deaths from those cases are going down because we're getting more and more positive cases, but nobody's dying from it.
Exactly. It's all a big nothing burger because they're saying like 90% or 80% of the people that died were people in nursing homes, older people. Like
Yeah, with pre-existing conditions.
they were no, and the worst part is they were above.
Stop touching this; it reverberates
They
on
were
the mic.
above the life expectancy in America. So I think it was like 70 or 75 in America.
70 to no, it's 60 to 75 is the national, or 50 to 70 is
Yeah,
like the national average of death. The national death average for Rona patients is like 80 to 90.
Exactly.
So it's people on their last leg that this is the final straw.
Like the nail in the coffin type thing.
Yeah.
And the dumb thing is we're shutting down national economy. People are getting foreclosed for what? Something that doesn't exist. And I think purposely.
Well, it does exist. Hold on.
But the comic flu exists. Should we shut down the entire government? No. But not the government, because society.
No, but when there is an influx of these cases, I don't see anything wrong with like putting in like wearing a mask. I don't see any problem with that.
But
like,
here's the thing.
What's your complaint with wearing a mask?
I'm claustrophobic and I have asthma, and I know this is all fake, so I don't feel comfortable. I get agitated. It makes me uncomfortable in general. I don't like it, and this is America. I'm sorry. I have the right to say no to something I think that is unjust.
Right, but do you understand that people? But okay.
People are scared for over something that they've been lied about.
So far, I 100% agree with what you've said. My question to you now, though, is how do you feel about people that they have the right to refuse service to anybody? So if you don't wear a mask in their resident, why are you gonna bitch? Because how do you know that they don't have pre-existing conditions and they're protecting themselves or their employees?
I have pre-existing conditions and I'm acting like a little bitch. But besides the point,
right? But that's your prerogative. Who gives you you don't know if you're a carrier in this situation because it's sweeping through. It's what we touched on this on a couple episodes back where there are people complaining about these masks. You know, I had Rona for 3 days, had no fucking idea before I started showing symptoms. I was with my family. I was with my grandma who's got severe Alzheimer's and she's okay. But you know why? Because I paid attention to what they were telling me and that, you know what, just because you don't have it doesn't mean you're not carrying it. So I acted as if I could have been a carrier.
Okay.
So I didn't hug her. I didn't give her a kiss as much as I wanted. It was my birthday. I didn't give anybody hugs. Right? But I was in the same room. I kept my distance. I, for the most part, kept my face covered if I could. You know, when I wasn't eating.
Did you drink or eat anything in that room? Did you?
Yes, we ate together, but we weren't sharing off plates. I understand. So my point is, you're just taking precautions for the people that you love around you. If I didn't take those precautions, not one person around me got sick.
Okay.
And I think it's because I was careful. I was careful even before I was diagnosed. I think that's my wife and kid didn't even get sick.
Yes. Okay, I understand that portion, but here's the thing: if it's so deadly to where it's murdering people across the
No, no,
world,
no,
no.
no, no. Older people.
I don't understand.
Now listen.
Hold
My
on,
point. I'm not done with.
make my point.
But I'm not done with my point.
I'm sorry.
So just to sum it up real fast, my point is, you go to the store, you don't want to wear your mask. Fine, they let you in anyway. You can't get mad at the person wearing the mask in there when you may not live with your grandparents, but they do.
I don't care
So
if they're
they
wearing it, as long as I don't have to wear it. I don't. That's
right, but the
individual
problem is that
freedom.
you might be the carrier.
Okay.
You might be carrying it and not know it. You may be an asymptomatic carrier.
Okay.
So you not wearing a mask puts other people in danger. Just like if you had the flu, you wouldn't go out and spread it. You'd stay home.
Yeah, if we're gonna,
because you wouldn't want to spread it, right?
Normal circumstances.
This is what's not normal about the situation, though. There is a 3-day incubation period before you start showing signs of the disease. So on the off chance that you happen to be in those 3 days, you're not taking the extra precaution as if you might have it. Like, I feel a little Flemish. I might have the flu. I know it's flu season. You know what? I'm not going to go see grandma today. You're just taking that extra precaution. Well, you feel fine today, but you're also going out in public where you know other people are carriers. You might bring it home. Why wouldn't you want to protect yourself so that you protect your kids at home or your grandma that you have to pick up groceries? So all these people saying like, hey, no, well, it should just be a focused quarantine and only elderly people and people at risk should stay home. Like, fine. Who the fuck is going to bring them their food? It's going to be you. It's going to be the DoorDash people. You don't want them to wear masks when they're delivering to the people at risk? Not if it's your grandma, it doesn't fucking matter, right? Because fuck her, she's lived a good life. She should die anyway.
Out, I go out, family goes over, nothing. I have dealt with thousands
they may
of
be
people.
lucky, but they may be asymptomatic and it doesn't fucking affect them at all.
My entire family.
My entire family didn't get sick.
Exactly.
I did. What if my entire family didn't get sick, including myself, but my grandma did? Because we were around her and not taking care of it.
I understand, but
it's just all I'm saying is
you're taking the precautionaries way out to the point where you're destroying the economy. You're separating
I'm just talking about masks.
I know.
If you want to go into the other stuff, let's roll the conversation along.
More than just the mask, but one of my issues with it is
the mask. I'm addressing the mask issue in particular because I feel like it's all you're asking people to do. Motherfucker, you're going to go interact with more than 10 people today?
I've interacted like 50 people a day sometimes.
Okay, my point, let me finish. Mm-hmm. My point is, if you're going to go out and fuck 5 girls, you're going to wear a condom most likely. Mm-hmm. If you give a shit about not catching anything.
Yeah.
If you're going out in a pandemic, when you know that these cases are happening, and it's not about the 30-year-olds like me. Like, fine, cases of us are increasing. Doesn't fucking matter. We're going to get over it. The problem is 130-year-olds have 200 grandparents, and that's one side of the family. 400 if you count both sets of grandparents. That's a lot of extra people at risk because the 30-year-olds, fuck it, we'll be fine.
And this argument pertains if you think it's real and if you think it is actually affecting people. And I personally do not believe it is.
I mean, it affected me. It sucked.
And it sucked.
And you know what? The one symptom that why it really drove it home for me, why we should be wearing the mask, is the fact that it felt hard to breathe. Like I could see, like I have strong lungs. I know how to.
Smoker.
I know how to. Yeah. I'm a traditional smoker.
You can fight that shit.
I like my cigars, and but I'm also a runner. Like I take care of my cardiovascular system, and they say that doesn't even fucking matter, right? But I think it does. I work on. I do a lot of breathing exercise. I do deep sea diving breathing exercise where you
talk a lot on the pod.
You take in a large breath. And then you suck in sips more, so you expand your lungs.
Sips, like air?
Yeah, and you keep swallowing it, and you just expand. I was doing that for 2 weeks, and it still felt like I couldn't expand my lungs fully. Like, it was an uncomfortable feeling. Now imagine you with asthma. You get that? You don't know. You don't know if you'd have to be hospitalized. There are people getting hospitalized because they have asthma, and they're getting the Rona because they have this, that, breathing problems in general, or overproduction of mucus or whatever. Like, that was the other thing. This mucus production I had, I couldn't stop. It would fill my ears and behind my tonsils, and it would make me want to fucking throw up just from my gag reflex.
Like, just pour out a little bit, or
no. I felt it.
Oh, you felt
within
it.
the canal here.
I know what you're talking about, like the glands right here.
Yeah, the glands, and I felt it right behind my tonsils. and I wouldn't be able to breathe without feeling like I was gonna throw up. And that didn't stop till like a few days ago when the mucus production stopped.
So you barely got
being
over
so
Rona
bad.
how long ago?
Officially 19th, the 19th.
What are we, the
That was
28th?
Friday,
Like about less than a week ago.
26th, I think. What are we? Oh, we are the 28th. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, 10 days ago.
Only thing I have to say to that is, I mean, not saying
Right,
anything
but
about
but my point is, would they have been fine if I wasn't so careful?
I believe yes, because this. Well, hold on. You went to a family gathering. You hung out there for several hours. You're gonna tell me you didn't wipe your face, you didn't do anything. You just stayed, gloves, mask, stayed in the corner, ate your food, and just waited for everybody from a 6 feet distance.
No, well, yes, yes and no.
Okay, but
Because no, I wasn't wearing a mask and gloves around my family.
Okay.
No, I wasn't. But what I was doing was intentionally not getting more than I didn't do 6 feet. I did
like, as
3,
much as
4
you
feet,
can.
and I wasn't like me and you were talking face to face with little spittle might get on
Like
each
right
other.
here?
Yeah,
Like right
I
here?
wasn't doing like if I was talking to anybody, I was talking facing away
Oh,
to the side, just in case spittle flies out my mouth. It's just common courtesy. You should do that regardless, right? But
yeah,
especially now, just to be a little extra cautious.
yes,
That's all I'm saying.
But-
why not walk around with a condom in your pocket, just in case?
that's true. But assorting a condom with everyday interactions is a little different. You have hundreds
But
of everyday interactions. You
fine.
probably have sex with one person a week.
Fine. But we're talking about during this pandemic. Anybody who thinks that we're going to be required to wear masks for the rest of our lives is stupid. They're not required to wear masks in China. They choose to because they just think it's a safer alternative
Well, they
to
were
not
wearing
wearing
masks already because of the pollution.
Right. That's my point. But they were not forced to. It's just a smart idea to do it.
Well, yeah, because they're.
That's what we're going to get to. I assure you. There are going to be people after this whole fucking
Still wearing
situation
masks.
still wearing masks just to fucking be careful because they're elderly, because they're immunocompromised. Some people are going to stay paranoid and it's going to continue to be what it is. Eventually, maybe it'll die off and nobody will wear masks anymore. Or maybe it'll be just a fashion trend where you wear it hanging off the ear just as a fashion trend.
Because I'm seeing all over Instagram and social people
They're
just like.
cute. It's just a fashion accessory. There's nothing wrong with it. Now, you're bothered because you have to wear them in certain stores right now.
You were in this room with your family and nobody got sick once. You already knew you had Rona.
No, I didn't know I had Rona. That's the point.
You did have Rona. And
Yeah,
here's the thing.
They say I was a carrier up to 3 days
before. They make
before.
it seem, the media and everybody makes it seem like, oh, even the government shut down this, shut down that. Everything must be shut down because this thing is getting everybody infected, sick, quick, just like that. But guess what? You were in a family room with your entire family, not a single incident.
Okay, now hold on. Now this is where we're going to. Let's continue the conversation. Let's get off the masks.
Okay.
Now we'll get into the subject matter that I agree with you on.
Okay.
Government shutdown. The shutting down businesses. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. I think if they choose to shut down of their own accord or start to screen people.
That's your business.
Like your business, your fucking choice. I have the right to refuse service for any reason. Well, my reason is I haven't checked your temperature yet.
Yeah.
You're not wearing a mask. If the individual business wants to take that upon themselves and take that risk of losing their customer base, it's on them.
Yeah, and guess what?
But to say like you have to shut down and then give like a stipend like $2,000 when a business usually makes $10,000 in that month, like it's a slap in the face. It's fucked.
Yes, and that's why I think it's dumb because you're not like you were saying earlier. Like, oh, well, they'll lose business. Like it's true. Yeah, it's true. Like,
but it should be the individual's right to make that choice.
As in America, you should have the right to make your own mistakes. You shouldn't be told by this isn't communism. This isn't communism. This isn't a socialist government. This is America, where you say I don't want to. I have the right to say no. No, you say I can't peacefully protest this. All right, then fuck you. I'm just like, all right, people.
Then it won't be peaceful.
Yeah, no, but people actually complaining about this came out and protested. Police told them you have to go home, whatever. They listened. And like the government was saying, hey, you can't protest this. You can't protest your rights, your freedoms.
I mean, that's that's anti-constitutional, though.
Black Lives Matter comes out and say, oh, we're going to protest police brutality, X, Y, and Z. Thousands show up. And then the mayor's like, we're in solitude with them. We'll kneel with them. We support them, X, Y, and Z. I'm like, so what the hell? Why?
Yeah, you can't protest the Rona shit, but you can protest Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, and Black Lives Matter
because they were big. So it's not fake because there's thousands of people out there. Just like Rona isn't fake because there's thousands of people getting sick. I just want to get very particular about the verbiage and the words that we fucking use. None of this is fake. Whether it
over-exaggerated.
That's a much better way to put it.
But Black Lives Matter,
definitely agree with that.
Their whole movement, their whole thing is a sham based off lies. All lies. Look at any
But
statistic
I
from the
disagree.
government.
I disagree because I think the problem is that you're taking an entire movement and not recognizing the factions within it. Just like the northern states and the southern
Well,
states.
Black Lives is
Just
started
because
by
we were
Marxists that
just
say they were ready for revolution.
my point is, just because all the southern states were slave-owning states didn't mean that every fucking family there was a slave owner and
Texas
okay with
was-
slavery. Not the point.
Oh, okay.
My point is, it doesn't matter what faction people say you're in, you still are an individual with your own thoughts. That's what I'm saying about these Black Lives Matter people that are out there protesting and doing all these things, is that, yes, you have factions that are out there just to be disruptive.
Yep.
But I've also seen a lot of factions out there literally just holding signs, and when cops show up, they don't do shit but lay on the ground with their hands behind their head in solidarity with the people who are fucking dying by cops, right?
Yeah, but
So
it's
there are
mob rule.
but it's peaceful protests. There are
Not
peaceful
really.
protests, and then there are not.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So stop saying like all these people are idiots. No,
They are.
there are
though.
idiots in all these people.
Well, there's a big pandemic, and these are the same people saying, "Well, who needs a haircut?
Okay.
You're racist." For
Okay,
getting a
fine,
haircut,"
but
and
then
they're
you-
out there protesting, like, bro.
But then you have the same thing on the other end of the spectrum. You got the Republicans that are saying like, no, we're with Black Lives Matter
None
too,
of
but
them
we
are
need to do
saying
this.
it.
No, not Republicans, right?
No, because
But there
we
are.
all know they look
But
at
there are.
statistics.
Is my point. I consider myself
more
more Republican
moderates.
than leftist, but I follow a lot of leftist ideology.
I think you're more of a moderate than anything.
Yeah, well, we've discussed this a lot. We'll never
Well, I
figure it
would-
out. Hey, by the way, Frank, how you doing over there?
I'm taking it in.
I was really liking the.
Oh yeah, my wife and kid are still in the room over there playing
Yeah, I
with the
just hear
puppies.
him laughing.
A lot of giggles. Anyway, so what do you think, Frank?
Oh, but I didn't get to finish my point real quick. Coronavirus
No one cares.
is meant to destabilize. Black Lives Matter is meant to increase and defund. This way, we can have a cyberpunk type of future where only the rich have private police, while the rest of us are left to fend for ourselves. You can see this.
Yeah,
in
that
any-
whole private police thing is such bullshit. The
But it's
people
already
claim.
happened. People in
Now,
Minneapolis.
hold on, real
Okay.
quick though. I think before we defund the police, we need to defund the government. I
That's
think
anarchy.
no. I'm not. See, this is the problem with the verbiage. People think that defunding means we're gonna get rid of the police. It just means you're giving them less money.
Oh, then yes, I agree. I completely agree.
That's when they say they've defunded the police. It doesn't mean that the police department shut
Minneapolis
down.
abolished their police, and so did Atlanta.
Well, those people, yeah, that's an abolishment. That's not.
Yeah,
that's
but
not what we're talking
They were
about.
chanting defund and abolish at the same time.
Yeah, that's
So-
a problem.
And then when you have a mob rule, yeah, they have people, individuals, but with mob rule hits, it's mob rule. It's not individual rule.
Right, but Frank agrees with this idea, though. I think,
Well, I
right?
agree with smaller government. I
No,
completely
hang on,
agree.
let's let Frank get a word
Oh,
in here,
Sorry,
because Frank's mentioned before.
I thought that was his hand, the Spider-Man hand.
No, to a point. Like, fucking, should they defund the police? Well, kind of, sort of. What I think is that the problem to this is the militarization of police. They should demilitarize the police. Get rid of their armored cars. Get rid of their. The only part of a police department that should have ARs, that should have armored vehicles, is the SWAT team.
Why?
That's what they do. Special weapons.
Yeah,
and
but now every police officer has
Oh,
an AK
Not,
or a
not in the valley.
a
I haven't
machine
seen
gun.
one officer in the valley. But if you
Well,
think
there's
about
no
it,
riots here in
these
the
are
valley.
all in
Wait till-
Democrat
wait-
stronghold cities where
if-
there's black people going rampant
Yeah, we just don't have a big enough black population here.
to have problems like that.
Yeah.
And the fact that we can all
I mean,
agree,
even the little situation we had with the group of Hispanics that were marching in
they're
McAllen, and then
mostly
the
like white as fuck.
and then the chainsaw the guy with the chainsaw comes out to scare him off. That
call
was-
the police! Defund the police! Wait,
What did they
God!
think he was gonna do? Go all Jason Voorhees and just start chopping everybody
Like,
up,
they
all
were
Texas Chainsaw Massacre style?
Screaming defund the police on the side of the road, then call the police as soon as somebody comes up to you. Like, this is the people that are
That's the
trying to
problem.
create policy. These are the people that are pushing movements that think they are the revolution. These are children.
No cops, no guns, no KKK.
Well, guess
It's
what?
not all the same thing.
I'm gonna kick in their door and rob them straight blind with my weapons. Because guess if there's no police, why the fuck should I be in line? You know, like this is not just an example. Why would anybody act straight if there's no police? Call a social worker. Like
The thing, and people are like, well, why would you do that? The thing is, there are criminals in the world. There are
Yes.
just criminals. I mean, think about it. There are people that kill, rob, steal, whatever,
Rape.
every fucking day. They already have repercussions in place right now. What happens when you get rid of them?
Okay, so
What's going to stop them?
one thing
Exactly what
say,
you're saying.
I would say reform, not defund. I think police need more funding
We
and
need
reform.
reformation.
Not defund, if anything, fund them more so they can get better equipped, better educated, better trained.
Yeah, instead of the Austin police spending $1 million on a fucking new stable ranch for the fucking horses for some reason they fucking have in Austin.
Exactly.
They should have put that money.
I think, but you are correct.
They should be putting that money towards a special victims unit specifically for the rape victims in the city that they have ignored.
Didn't they lose? Like a bunch of, you told me that, right? They lost a bunch of rape.
No, they won.
No, they lost a bunch of rape kits or something. You told me that.
No. What they did was they were taking people's rape kits and not processing them, or they would not about the rape kits. They would take rape allegations and rape accusations, and they wouldn't follow up with the transgressor, and they would write it off as this case is closed because it was never followed up by the person who filed.
Oh, yeah, but the police were supposed to follow it up with
okay.
Right?
I know a person personally who was raped.
Mm-hmm.
She followed this. She tried to figure out where this case was for 2 years. And one day, and she was keeping up, asking them, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It was always like, we're doing what we can. We're doing what we can. We're doing what we can. Then one day, oh, your case is closed. Oh, what do you mean my case is closed? I never went to court about this. Nothing ever happened. Turns out 600 or more in the last 10 years cases.
Kind of brushed aside.
Just brushed aside. Because it was too much work because they didn't have enough people working a department. They have a special victims unit.
But there's not enough funding for that department.
But there's not enough funding to make a specific unit for rape cases and sexual abuse.
That's why I say they wanted to fund it. And they wanted to fund. That's what I'm saying. Reform. Not defund, reform.
So look, this group of 10 women, along with the person I know personally, went and filed a suit against Austin PD. And they thought they were going to get a settlement because it made sense. They fucked up. They obviously mishandled their cases. And instead, they said no. The judge ruled against the girls and said that Austin PD doesn't owe them anything.
I mean, to a certain extent, they're right.
But that's the year that they had enough. No. The problem is they weren't just asking for money. What they were really asking for was for that special victims unit
just to reopen.
No, to be made. It doesn't exist.
Okay.
They wanted the Austin Police Department to make an actual division for rape cases.
SVU type, like in the bigger cities.
But they didn't.
They made horse stables.
Instead, they made horse stables that year. Because the money is better to go towards new horse stables.
It looks better on them. It's just more. It's more fun. It's more leisure than it is work.
Yeah. We care more about our horses than our women in this city. That's what it said. And those women didn't get a dime. I think the lawyer
money to the lawyer.
Yeah, the lawyer fees. I don't think. I mean, if they were lucky enough to get pro bono work from those lawyers, I don't know. But
even then, that's like a lot.
But at this point, I'm not sure. But I believe the leader of I believe they're going to look into following it up with the Supreme Court now. And if it goes to the Supreme Court and they can get it heard and if they can get national attention, I'm almost sure there's going to be a special. Like it would.
They're gonna just drop all their money.
How do you not, especially in this climate? How do you not justify doing that? You know what I mean? So if before they wanted just Austin to do it, at least now if they can get it nationally, it'll go national, and they maybe have the opportunity to make a whole new segment of the police force across the nation.
That's not gonna happen because
we're defunding everybody.
Yes, that is correct. And
that's the other issue that everyone's talking about defunding the police, and then some police departments. I don't remember which police department it was that initially did this, but they were talking about, I think it was a Minneapolis one, talking about opening up a different fucking different division sector of the fucking police department, like opening up a whole new fucking department. And I'm like, so you're giving yourself more money because opening new departments cost money, resources and all that shit. I'm just like, people are fucking stupid, but yeah.
Well, the problem is that
social media is the problem.
Social media is a problem.
Clip bites, 3 second, 100, 240 characters, 5-second videos just to show one side of the story. You can agitate a cop and beat the shit out and throw stuff at, and then act peacefully when they start beating the shit out of you and say, look, they're beating me up, yada, yada, yada. case in point, some black guy was beating the living shit out of a Macy's employee, and when he was beating him up, he said they asked him why he did. He called me the N-word. It was so hurtful. And Macy's even came out like, "Hey, our employee didn't say that. We're backing him up." And they can't even press charges on him because he's black in one of these rioting cities.
Wow.
So like, talk about white privilege, talk about black privilege, bro. This guy literally beat up a Macy's employee off a fabricated lie, went viral to be some kind of hero.
Even if it wasn't a lie, bitch, you can't fucking I'm sorry. People that get so butthurt. I mean, I get it. Being called a word is offensive. But me saying, you fucking beep to him is no different than me saying, you cunt ass bitch to a woman.
Yeah.
What's the fucking difference? Oh, this word has a weight attached to it. Like, so does bitch and cunt here.
Yeah.
So the women here, they don't like it much better than you like being called nigger.
Yeah,
but they
like,
fucking say it anyway. I don't like getting called I don't even like being called a fucking Mexican. I call myself a Mexican. I'm not. I'm Hispanic, but I'm Spanish American Mexican. It's all. I'm an amalgamation of all these things. You can call me whatever the fuck you want.
The newest breed of human on this planet.
Yeah, I guess
if you think about it, between the Native Americans and the Europeans, the Spanish were the only ones who really.
We're all a new breed.
No,
we're
really.
all brand new. We're all
yes
brand new.
No.
We are not our ancestors.
Oh,
yes. We carry genetic code, but we are not our ancestors. What we are is we are a programmed being of our social fucking construct, man. That's all we are. We are what our surroundings are, and maybe our genetics carry in some attitude, right? But we have it in ourselves.
Does it really though?
To learn and to become better, and to not fall back on what your dad taught you or your grandparents may have thought back in the Depression. Like, we're not famine mentality right now. As much as people are complaining about not having toilet paper, most people still have food.
Yeah.
There is enough programs. The school is still providing food for my son. Really? I think they were up until like a week or two into the damn summer. Yeah. Even then, I think there's summer school lunch programs as well. The other day, look at what happens. The other day, I get a letter. That is Jehovah's Witnesses.
Walk by. The best, bro. I love talking to them.
You know what? They're sweet. I like them.
Dear neighbor. Oh,
dear neighbor. I am writing to you today to share a unique Bible message. While on earth, Jesus Christ spoke about God's kingdom more than any other topic. He also taught his followers how to pray for that kingdom to come in the Lord's Prayer. Have you ever thought about what the kingdom is? Blah, 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 blah.
Read it.
So this is cute, right? It's sweet. I love that people care enough to do. Now, this is peaceful. This is how you do it. You don't take up my time and come knock on my door and expect me to entertain you for 30 minutes unannounced. That's rude. I love these letters. That's beautiful. My point is, that group of Jehovah's Witnesses the other day was outside about a block away down the street here. They stopped my wife in the middle of the street with her parents. Please come here, come here, come here. Waved them in, right? They're like, okay, just wanted to check it out. They gave for nothing. For nothing. They gave us a big box of fucking vegetables. A big box of vegetables. Enough for us to share with our neighbor. Because it would have gone bad by the time we got through it. My point is, there's all this bullshit in the world. But we can take care of ourselves. If we choose to. If we choose to think locally and stop worrying so much about the fucking global aspect of it, that's the problem with all these fucking ideologies people are having. Everybody's worried about the world, what the world is doing. Like,
worry about yourself.
Worry about your own goddamn roof. How is your son eating today while you're out there fucking protesting these people that don't want to let you in because you're not wearing a mask? Bitch, put a fucking mask on and go get your kid a fucking Subway.
I don't think people are protesting the mask. I think they're more protesting Black Lives Matter.
All right, now Black Lives Matter, same thing though. It's all the same thing. So you're out there fighting the cops. Like, well, would you have been in trouble with the cops if you weren't out there protesting right now? Like, yeah, but it's about my brother who wasn't doing anything and got fucked up. Like, well, then you fucking go vote.
Your brother
go
lied, bro.
vote. Nobody does.
I've been beat up by the cops. They don't beat you up unless you provoked it. Like, straight up, bro. I've been beat up and I didn't cry.
I've never had a cop put their hand on me. I was pulled over the other day because I was doing 44 in a 30. And I mean, granted, it was a 45 to a 30 transition. He pulled me over kind of bullshit like, but he just gave me a warning because I was with my wife and kid. Like, but as long as you're respectful, I had my ID out, turned the car off, had both hands on the wheel by the time you came in. I pulled you over because you were doing 44. Well, shit, man. I'm real sorry about that. I understand if you have to give me a ticket, sir. Like, no, I'm gonna run your plates. If you're clear, it'll just be a warning. Like, not all cops aren't just choosing to be assholes.
They're people too.
Now I'll tell you what. If I lowered that window, and I was like, yeah, well, I pulled you over for doing 44. I wasn't doing 44. Like, bitch, you know what the fuck you were doing. People that do that all the time, they're like, I got pulled over the other day. Hey, it was such bullshit. I was only doing 55 in a 45. You were speeding, fucker. That's 10 miles an hour. There is a law about it. That is literally half of their job is pulling people over for doing that. And you're gonna bitch because they did exactly what you would expect them to do. Like, you fucking bitch and yell and start running. The one guy that was arguing with the cops for 12 minutes or something, and then all of a sudden he takes off.
Oh, the black guy that got shot and died?
Yeah, and then they shot him. Well, why the fuck did he run?
He beat him up. He beat them both down. And
why
then
did
took
he
the taser
run?
And shot him at the head. He shot at his head and missed.
Right. No. That's further. I know Frank talked about it with our last.
He ran because he was on parole, felony parole. He just got released because of Corona.
I'll tell you what. I'd take prison over being shot in the back.
Well, he's dead now.
Because he did it because they don't take the extra effort to think about the next day. And I'm not talking about black people. I'm not talking about white people. I'm talking about people in general. If it was a white dude that ran, I'd expect him to get shot in the back too. The problem is, do they?
Yeah, they do. Proportionally, they got, I think last year in 2019, it was like 20-some, 23. And
hey, Siri, how many people were shot by cops that were white? Oh, that's going to give me like how many white people shot. Let me look this up. Let's see what the average is this year.
FBI statistics in 2019 for black people was 9 unarmed, and for white people it was like 20-some. Put unarmed, though. And the funny part is when it says unarmed and you look into each individual report of the black people, they're all justified because they were being violent towards cops regardless.
Yeah, the problem is when you're expecting to be treated unfairly, you start to react as if you're being treated unfairly. But if you go into it thinking like,
that's media.
No matter who you are, if you come with a bad attitude, you're gonna get treated like somebody with a bad fucking attitude.
Yeah.
It's like in school. Everybody knew that one guy that just fucking talked shit for no reason and then was always in trouble. And you're like, man, that teacher's a fucking bitch. I'm like, dude, you never shut the fuck up in class.
Oh shit.
Like what? These class clowns. Like these people get in trouble for being assholes, and then they blame the people that they're in trouble with.
Oh, that's all. Everybody getting mad at Black Lives Matter, getting mad at the cops. Those are the people. I got pulled over, $500 ticket. I'm not complaining. I mean, I'm kind of stressed. I have to pay a $500 ticket.
Now, my problem is now where I agree with the Black Lives Matter movement is the problem that the cops are not responding the way that they should. They overreact in situations where they shouldn't.
Well, here's the thing.
The kneeling on someone's neck is never justified.
Okay.
And it's still happening. Even after they've killed 2 guys this way, you're still seeing people.
Yeah, that's how you restrain people. Like in
the
police academy.
In the police academy, they train you to put your knee on the. Frank, you want to clear this one up? Didn't they teach you in the Marines too?
Yeah, you put your shin on their back to keep.
We had an Army Ranger Special Forces operator in here. And we told him what happened the day or 2 after it happened. He hadn't heard the story yet. And as soon as we said, yeah, he had his knee on the back of his neck for like 5 minutes, he immediately was like, no, you don't do that. No, this is an Army Ranger Special Forces operator.
Out about that.
And he couldn't understand why they would just lean on the back of somebody's fucking neck.
Because the guy was resisting arrest. He already was a several time convicted felon.
Right, but after the first couple minutes, move your knee from the neck to the back.
That is true. I'm not saying that.
Like, I get it if you need to do it because he's struggling and it's your only option.
Purposely murdered him in cold blood, like he did it on. Like, no, bro, shit happens. This guy's crazy.
It was an accident. It was. I don't think it was an intentional manslaughter at all. No.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was definitely unintentional manslaughter.
Yes,
because it was a careless act done not by the book.
The dude was still a criminal. He was still doing some shady ass shit.
Well, and the problem was there were 2 people, at least 2 other cops around him that saw this. I mean, if they had just been watching the guy on the floor under the guy's knee, they might have told him, hey, man, I think he's losing consciousness.
Oh,
back your fucking knee up.
But here's the thing. That happens all the time.
Yeah, they help me, especially now. After the first time after the first guy, I can't breathe. Now every single black person that gets put on the floor before a hand's even on them, they're like, I can't breathe. That's fucked.
You want to show Frank?
We'll post that later. Send it to me and I'll send it to Frank. We'll post it later. But yeah, man. Frank got to get all this out of his. Well, not really. Frank got to hear all this same shit go on with Robin Polo, right?
Yeah, they were debating it because Polo coming from fucking he was in debate, but coming from
I wanted to debate Polo. I want him back on now that I know like the kind of fight he's got in him with a conversation.
Oh well, we're gonna have him on for our anniversary episode. So.
No, we're gonna have him on sooner than that for sure.
Okay. Well, I'll let him know.
Anniversary episode's already coming up. Yeah, we're gonna have to get him on soon. What's the date? Let's let people know.
July 27th.
All right,
that's pretty
everybody.
close.
July 27th. We are gonna do our best to get as many of our old guests on for a quick little hey there, how are you? So don't forget to check us out July 27th for our 1-year anniversary episode. Everybody.
Sorry,
Rick Sanchez. Yes. Anyway, this has been the Completely Inappropriate Podcast. Frank, what do you got to say, man? Do you got any Black Lives Matter rant you want to go on before we end this?
Oh, no, I think I got it all out of my system.
just listening to us?
We're a bunch of Mexicans. We can say we're
no, because I spoke about it with Polo and Rob, and then I posted about it on Instagram, and then
and just for anybody who thinks I'm being racist in this situation or not sympathetic, I've been pulled over for just running down the fucking street, going for a jog. I got surrounded by 4 fucking cop cars and asked to get on my knees with my hands behind my head because they thought I had broken into a house down the road because they had a call about it.
It happens all the time here in Mercedes.
Happens all the time. I didn't get pissy. You know what I did? Once they realized that it wasn't me, they're like, okay, sir, we're sorry to take your time. Go ahead and go. Okay, no problem. Well, they didn't say sorry, but they said, you can go ahead and go, sir. Okay, thanks. I appreciate you guys looking out for me. That's what I said. Because they were looking out for my area. I live there too. I don't want my place broken into.
Yeah.
I don't mind getting pulled over on suspect as long as I didn't do anything. I got nothing to fucking worry about. And I didn't. As soon as that situation finished, I ran to my house, put some fresh clothes on, cleaned up. I went to the police station. They're like, hey, I just wanted to know if you guys got a proper ID on those guys that you were looking for earlier so I can keep a lookout because I would like to help you guys.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to say I'm not here to complain. I just wanted to say I live in the area too. Is there any information you can give me so that I can help?
And a wife at home.
That's how you're supposed to fucking treat the police. That's how you're supposed to react when you get pulled over and you don't know why. Act innocent, fucker.
Yeah.
Like, act innocent.
I'm doing my shit. Don't leave me alone.
There have been times I was pulled over when I was a kid with a pipe in my fucking car. I said yes sir, no sir. He didn't bother checking my vehicle. If he did, I would have been in jail.
Yeah.
But I was polite about it and I acted innocent. If you don't act like there's something to hide, there's nothing to fucking hide.
Yeah.
Why are you taking up my time? Why are you pulling me over? Because I'm black? Like, no, because it's my fucking job. And if there's nothing wrong here, you'll be on your way.
You literally just don't.
But everybody makes a big thing about it and goes on for an extra 10 minutes just bitching at the guy. And this guy is just getting more and more furious. Like, these killer cops are just, they're not, I don't know, man.
They're not real.
They're not every cop.
So they're saying like
they're not every cop. Just like not every Republican is anti-homosexual. Not every Democrat wants to open borders. Not every Dem.
Well, no, some of them don't. Yeah,
okay,
right.
Stop. You're missing the point.
Okay.
Fuck you. You're doing what everybody else does, and it's pissing me off. I don't blanket statement anybody. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, you're
Frank, help me. Let's end this goddamn thing.
Okay. This is it.
Asshole. All right, so this has been the Completely Inappropriate Podcast, everybody. I am Tony. That has been Frank, occasionally on here, along with one of my favorite guests to have on. I don't always agree with him, but I always love to communicate with you. What's your name? Jose Jeremiah de los Santos.
Yes, sir.
Garcia. The 13th. This has been the Completely Inappropriate Podcast. Find us at completelyinappropriatepodcast@gmail.com, at CI Podcast on Instagram, at completelyinapple1p on Twitter, and find us at BitChute and YouTube for our video content. It's a lot of fun, guys. We love doing this for you. I'm happy to be back. Rona 2020 Survivor. Fuck y'all. I'm out. Frank, what do we tell the people?
Be excellent to each other.
Find you're happy. Let's try and be better today than we were yesterday.
Good one.
Love you guys. Take it easy. Goodbye. Bye, everybody.
Hi, Frank.
Bye, Frank.
Hi, Frank. Don't say bye.
Say bye, Frank.
Don't
this
say
doesn't
bye.
end until Frank says
Don't say
bye.
bye, Frank.
That's necessary.
Francisco, do not say
Bye,
bye.
Frank.
No.
All right.
Say hi.